Hey guys, I'm back with another video. This video will be about things I wish I knew or that I was doing or did in my 20s. As a woman in her mid-30s, I think it's fair to share just some of the things that I've really been discovering in my 30s that I wish I had been doing 10 or so years ago, maybe even 15 years ago. So the first one is a proper skincare routine. And that's like using all the appropriate creams and cleansers that would, work for however my skin was, whether it was oily or dry or whatever, to help preserve the integrity, elasticity, and all that of my skin. One of the things I've really been enjoying for like the past year is trying out products and seeing what works for me, and I feel like I've kind of gotten into a regimen that has been working. And I just wish, I wish I had been doing this years ago. I've also started using sunscreen, which is something I never did. Like, I think the only time I would use sunscreen is if I knew I would be in the sun for a prolonged period of time, because I do, especially my legs will get burned, like really itchy and red if I am in the sun without protection. So yeah, I've really been enjoying that. The next one is a hair care routine. So I feel like in my 20s I did, when I started wearing my hair natural, I did have a hair care routine, but it wasn't like me really trying out more professional products. And that's something I definitely, like looking back, I wish I was doing. And as I'm like restarting a healthy hair care journey, now I just am like, man, I've been testing out these clean products and like a few professional products that I find are working really well for me. And I just wonder where my hair would have been or could have been, or could I have reached those goals that I was wanting to reach in my 20s if I was more intentional about using or finding the appropriate or the proper hair care tools and products for my hair type. So hopefully in my 30s, I can reach the goals that I have. We'll see. Fingers crossed. So this next one, actually the next two, I feel like really go hand. The next three really go hand in hand. So I'm gonna just give those right now. So it's vitamins, taking vitamins, drinking water like on a regular basis and being intentional about it, and working out with a trainer. Okay, so with vitamins, the only time I regularly took vitamins was as a child when my parents would give them to me. Once I kind of like grew out of that stage where they were giving me those Flintstone vitamins, I didn't really take vitamins. Maybe I would do like vitamin C and zinc and stuff when I would get sick. But other than that, I was not taking vitamins. I didn't start taking vitamins regularly until I was pregnant, and that was when I was taking prenatal vitamins. And I realized, even after I gave birth and was breastfeeding, when I was taking those prenatal vitamins, my nails were a lot stronger, and of course my hair grew. And it made me feel like, man, maybe some of the challenges that I had with my nails and my hair had been due to a nutritional deficit. So I wish I had been taking vitamins, discovering the different vitamins that I could take, drinking more water. Your body just does a lot better. My body does a lot better when I'm drinking water. It is so important to hydrate with the liquid that your body is made most of, which is water. So drinking more water, and of course working out. I've always been on the slim side throughout my entire life. Since having a baby and breastfeeding, which I'm still breastfeeding. My daughter is almost 3 years old and I am still breastfeeding. I'm slim, but I definitely have put some fat in places that were not very fatty before. But I think, or looking back, I just wish that in my 20s, I had been more intentional about working out, not because of looking a certain way, but more so being in the habit of really truly taking care of my body. And I say with the trainer, because, you know, if you have a trainer, my husband is a trainer, so in my 20s, when I was working out, he would give me all the exercises and things that I could do. But if I wasn't married to him, I would, and I was in my 20s, I would want to work out with a trainer just so I can learn more about my body and the different ways that I can move my body to be strong and to be healthy and to feel comfortable in my body. The other thing I wish I did more of in my 20s was read books. Now, I did start my spiritual journey in my 20s, which involved me reading the Bible a lot. And in a lot of ways, it added so much to my life and provided me with so much wisdom. However, if I could do my 20s over again, I think I also would have read more books, more self-help books, in the sense of just learning more about human psychology, learning more about just my own behavior and how to deal with some of the struggles that I've had with like procrastination or trauma responses. So if I could do it over again, I would read a lot more books. Something else I wish I knew or was doing in my 20s is learning how to garden. Sure, I wouldn't be a master gardener, but I definitely would have been able to successfully grow a few things with, like, I want to say little effort, not having to try to like learn everything at one time amongst all the other things in life that I had to do. And I think that's an important skill for maybe not all of us, but for a lot of us to learn, like how to grow, if not all, some of your food. I wish I had a wardrobe stylist, someone who could help me learn how to shop for my body type. I wouldn't say, I'm definitely not a fashion icon, and I feel like I dress pretty well, but it would have been cool, I think, or even now it would be cool to just have someone come in and help me just see what works best for me, you know, for my vibe, my body type, you know, and just kind of like how I want to present myself. I wish I took more extracurricular classes or activities such as pottery, painting, music lessons. Like I've taught myself the guitar, but you know, just kind of like really investing in hobbies. I wish I did more of that. I did do like hobby type stuff, making jewelry and things like that, but looking back, I probably would have just invested more in hobbies. Something else I wish I was doing is using organic pads and or tampons. I'm not a fan of tampons anymore, but definitely organic pads. Yeah, look it up. Now, this isn't something I wish I had been doing. It's something that I've been practicing, and it's saying no often. I know there's the whole like say yes where you say yes to everything, but for me, I consider myself an introvert, and it's important for me to have time to myself. So if I'm not feeling something, I don't want to do something, and it's like reasonable for me to say no, I'm going to say no. Now, there are exceptions to that. Like, for example, if I haven't seen a friend in a very long time and I know that they've been asking me to hang out, I'm not going to like deny myself of that because obviously they're my friend. So those are, you know, there are exceptions where I will work things out. But if I find that it's okay or I feel comfortable saying no to something, I'm going to say no. Why agree to do something if I don't really want to do it? I mean, again, there are exceptions to that, like if I need to show support or things like that, but yeah, I would tell people in your 20s, say no. It's healthy. So the last thing I'll share, I'll probably do a part 2 to this, but this is probably the most important. Making sure you're in the right message thread when you're responding to something. I can't tell you how many times I have responded to a text that I thought was for somebody else, but I was in the wrong thread. And I don't even know how that happens, but like I will literally be talking to someone through text, and then I will maybe put my phone down, go back to it and like respond, and I'm in the wrong thread. I have no idea how that happens, but making sure, especially if you are like in group chats and stuff, make sure you're in the right thread. Because if you're talking about something in your group chat, or if you're talking to like your significant other and you happen to say something that, you know, an unsuspecting person would be like, you know, flabbergasted by or traumatized by. Thankfully, nothing like that has happened, but and hopefully it won't, but make sure you're in the right thread. So those are just some of the things that, you know, as I've been thinking about it, I wish I had been doing, was doing, or did in my 20s. I hope that you find this helpful, and please share if you can think of anything else. If you are in your 30s, or even if you're in your 20s and you wish you had been doing it sooner, yeah, put it down in the comments. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.